different a day makes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Barbria DeÁnne, and welcome to the Story Beyond My Songs Viewer's Choice Update, where each week I shine a spotlight and tell you the full stories on the most viewed legacy shorts that touched your hearts, sparked your memories, and got the most love from you, the viewers. This week, your views chose powerful tributes to four unforgettable icons of soul. Happy Heavenly Birthday, Michael Jackson, honoring the King of Pop's legacy. Bob Barker, celebrating the life, legacy, and compassion of a TV icon. Dinah Washington, from Tuscaloosa to Chicago, Heavenly Birthday Tribute. And Jimi Hendrix final recording, Slow Blues, at Electric Lady Studios. These are your choices. These are your picks. So if you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload content. And without further ado, let's get into the moments that made last week so special.
Never can say goodbye. No.
Born in Gary, Indiana in 1958, this young man was a child star with the voice of an angel and the soul of a veteran performer. From Motown stages to moonwalks that changed television history, he wasn't just an entertainer, he was a force. Today, we honor Michael Joseph Jackson on his heavenly birthday. Michael Jackson was an American singer, songwriter, and dancer who was often referred to as the King of Pop. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential and iconic entertainers in the history of music and pop culture. Jackson first gained fame as a member of the Jackson Five, a Motown group formed with his siblings in the 1960s. He later embarked on a solo career that propelled him to unprecedented levels of success. Some of his most well-known albums include Off the Wall, 1979, Thriller, 1982, Bad, 1987, Dangerous, 1991, and History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, 1995. His album Thriller is the best-selling album of all time. With hits like Billie Jean, Thriller, and Beat It, Jackson's innovative music videos, such as the iconic Thriller video, played a significant role in popularizing the medium and breaking down racial barriers on television. Jackson's distinctive voice, exceptional dancing abilities, and unique fashion sense contributed to his status as a global superstar. He is known for his signature dance moves, including the moonwalk. Beyond his musical accomplishments, Jackson was known for his philanthropic efforts, including support for various charitable causes. However, his personal life was often marred by controversy, including some off the wall allegations, which he vehemently denied. See what I did there? Tragically, Michael Jackson passed away on June 25, 2009, at the age of 50 due to acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication. His death was met with an outpouring of grief from fans and fellow artists worldwide. Despite the controversies, his musical legacy continues even in death. Michael Jackson's light did not dim. His artistry still shapes music, dance, fashion, and hearts. He taught us to heal the world, to look at the man in the mirror, and to remember the time. Today, we honor the birth of a musical genius and remember the moment the music stopped. We celebrate the echo that still plays on in our hearts forever. Happy heavenly birthday, Michael. Thank you for everything.
And now here's the star of The Price is Right, Bob Barker.
On December 12, 1923, in the small town of Darrington, Washington, a boy was born who would one day become one of the most familiar faces in American homes. His name was Robert William Barker. He grew up on the Rosebud Indian Reservation in South Dakota, an upbringing that instilled in him a deep sense of community and respect for life. Today, we honor Bob Barker on the anniversary of his passing. During World War II, Barker trained as a Navy fighter pilot in the U.S. Naval Reserve. Though the war ended before he saw combat, when he returned home, he pursued his education, graduating summa cum laude in economics from Drury College. Yet, his true path wasn't in numbers, but in his gift for connecting with people. In 1950, he launched his very first program, The Bob Barker Show. For 6 years, it kept audiences entertained and set the stage for a career that would soon shift from radio to television. By 1956, he was invited to host Truth or Consequences, where his warmth, charm, and quick wit made him a household name. But it was in 1972 that Bob Barker truly cemented his legacy. When he took the microphone on The Price is Right, no one could have guessed he'd remain there for 35 years, turning "Come on down" into one of the most iconic catchphrases in television history. Under his care, the game show became the longest-running daytime program of its kind, a tradition that brought families together around the TV for decades. Barker's achievements didn't go unnoticed. Over the course of his career, he won 19 Daytime Emmy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1999, and was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame in 2004. But to Bob, accolades weren't the most important thing. What mattered most was using his platform for something greater. Starting in 1979 and continuing until his final sign-off in 2007, Barker ended every episode with a simple but powerful reminder.
Help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
This wasn't just a slogan, it was his mission. In 1995, he founded the DJ&T Foundation, named after his late wife Dorothy Jo and his mother Matilda, known as Tilly, to fund low-cost and free spay and neuter clinics across the country. He also supported organizations like PETA, the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, and countless shelters, becoming one of the most influential advocates for animal rights in America. Even after retiring in 2007, at that point, the oldest person to ever regularly host a network game show, he remained active, making guest appearances and lending his voice to causes he believed in. For him, fame was always a tool to give back, especially to those who had no voice of their own, animals. On August 26, 2023, Bob Barker passed away peacefully at his home in Los Angeles. He was 99 years old, just a few months shy of celebrating a century of life. Tributes poured in from across the entertainment world, from Drew Carey, his successor on The Price is Right, to longtime fans who grew up watching him with parents and grandparents. Adam Sandler, who famously sparred with Barker in a comedic fight scene in Happy Gilmore, remembered him as the man, the myth, the best. But perhaps the most fitting tribute comes from Barker's own words. When asked how he would like to be remembered, he said simply, as the man who said, "Have your pets spayed or neutered." Bob Barker's story is more than a tale of television success. It is the story of a man who used his platform to bring joy to millions, all while championing compassion and kindness. His voice, his laugh, and his message will continue to echo through time, reminding us to care for one another and for the creatures who share this world with us. Rest in heavenly peace, Bob Barker. Thank you for the memories, the smiles, and the legacy of love you left behind.
What a difference a day makes.
On August 29, 1924, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Ruth Lee Jones was born. When she was just a young girl, Ruth's family moved to Chicago, Illinois. It was there that her destiny began to take shape. In the city's churches, she honed her skills as a pianist and a singer. Her gospel roots gave her voice a soul-stirring depth that would later carry into every genre she touched. Today, we honor Dinah Washington on her heavenly birthday. Chicago was alive with jazz, blues, and the pulse of black creativity. As a teenager, Ruth began performing in clubs where her extraordinary voice quickly drew attention. By her late teens, she was discovered by Lionel Hampton, the legendary band leader who gave her the stage name the world would never forget, Dinah Washington. Dinah became one of the most popular black female recording artists of the 1950s. Though primarily a jazz vocalist, she defined boundaries, singing blues, R&B, and even traditional pop. Her ability to cross genres made her a household name. Her Grammy-winning recording of What a Difference a Day Makes remains a timeless classic, while September in the Rain showcased her gift for making simple lyrics feel deeply profound. Dinah wasn't just known for her voice, she was known for her confidence. She once declared, "There is only one heaven, one earth, and one queen. Me. Queen Elizabeth is an imposter." It was a statement that reflected her reign not only on stage, but also in spirit. Though her life ended tragically young in 1963 at just 39 years old, Dinah Washington's legacy was secured. She was inducted into the Alabama Jazz Hall of Fame in 1986 and enshrined in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993. From Tuscaloosa to Chicago, from gospel roots to global stardom, Dinah Washington carried the voice of a generation. She wasn't just the queen of the blues. She was a trailblazer whose music still echoes across time. Today, on her heavenly birthday, we remember the woman who turned pain into power and music into immortality. Happy heavenly birthday, Dinah Washington. Thank you so much for sharing your bold gifts with the world. On August 27, 1970, Jimi Hendrix stepped into his dream project, Electric Lady Studios in New York City. Built just for him, this Greenwich Village haven was where Hendrix wanted to push music into the future. But on this night in 1970, Jimmy recorded what would become his very last studio performance, an instrumental known simply as Slow Blues. He poured his soul into that guitar, bending notes, stretching time, letting the blues breathe through every string. Only 10 weeks after the studio opened, Hendrix would be gone. But Electric Lady Studios lived on, becoming a creative temple for legends like Led Zeppelin, Stevie Wonder, and David Bowie. Jimi Hendrix didn't just leave us music, he left us a place where music itself could live forever. And that's the magic of Electric Lady. It was never just a building. It was Hendrix's vision of freedom, painted in sound and light, carved into the heart of Greenwich Village. After Jimmy's passing, the studio became more than a memorial. It became a living, breathing vessel for creativity. Led Zeppelin chased thunder here. Stevie Wonder shaped masterpieces like Talking Book and Inner Visions within its walls. David Bowie tapped into its otherworldly energy. Decades later, artists like U2, Patti Smith, The Strokes, and Daft Punk would all step into Hendrix's dream and leave their mark. Even today, more than half a century later, Electric Lady Studios remains one of the most iconic recording sanctuaries in the world, still alive with sound of innovation, still echoing the spirit of the man who built it. On August 27, 1970, Jimi Hendrix gave us his last notes with Slow Blues. And though his hands left the strings, his vision continues to play on, every time the lights flicker on inside Electric Lady Studios. And there you have it, folks. Last week's Most Loved Stories now told in full for you to relive, remember, and cherish. If you enjoyed these moments, don't forget you can catch my weekly shorts right here on Barbria DeÁnne to vote with your views on next week's picks. And for deeper dives and full stories, make sure you subscribe to the Story Beyond My Song channel or become a member of this channel to view upcoming stories and classic songs where the music lives on in more than just a memory. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more stories beyond the legends that have shaped our lives. Until next time, keep the music alive by checking out this next video. Bye.